Moana Tuwhare is with us. The Deputy Chair, Moana is, of the Tuhoronuku Independent Mandated Authority Board. Now, that's the board that will negotiate Ngāpuhi treaty claims. It's received 28 nominations to fill gaps in its ranks of Hapu Kaikorero. And the process has continued. That's despite Sunny being forced to step down as chair. The acting chair is Sam Napia. He says Tuhoronuku is energised by the active Hapu voices contributing directly to the negotiation process. Kaikorero, including some of the new nominees, met with negotiators at Paihia over the weekend to discuss the possible shape of a settlement. The deputy chair of Tuhoronuku, Moana, says Ngāpuhi's greatest negotiation strength is its unity. Moana's a lawyer and represents some of the Hapu who are still going through the Waitangi Tribunal hearing process. Says it's time for Ngāpuhi to leave the divisions and conflict of the past and forge a new unity of purpose and respect for each other. Worthy aims. And Moana has kindly joined us to reflect on where we're at with Tuhoronuku. Thanks for your time, Moana. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Well, thank you. As a settlement looms, maybe you could describe the effect the mandating process has had on inter-Hapu relationships in Ngāpuhi.
Well, I think it's fairly obvious that it hasn't been great in some quarters of Ngāpuhi. That it has caused concern and division. We are hoping that we are able to focus on what's important for those particular hapu that are both in support of Tuhoronuku and those that aren't, so that we can move together as a whole. And I just want to reiterate or emphasise really that the mandate for Ngāpuhi is that Tima holds, Tuhoronuku holds, is for the whole of Ngāpuhi. So whether hapu are actively in support or not, we do have a responsibility and an obligation to do what we're doing.
It appears that plenty are willing to speak on behalf of Hapu with the numbers that are 28 nominations. That's an encouraging sign.
Yeah, it is. It's a very encouraging sign, and we don't know who those nominees, all of them, are at this point. They're going through a verification process, which is part of the election process, which has been run independently. So there's only a few of the Hapu Kaikorero nominees that we, know have put their name forward. Others we're still watching like everybody else to see who else is on that list of 28. But it's an encouraging sign. The next steps in the process will determine whether or not there will be elections held. So where a nomination, where a hapu has more than one nomination, then an election process will be held, and part of that election process will include kuia hapu, where the nominees will be are required to be in attendance in front of their hapu and answer questions and tell their people what they're about, that sort of thing, before the vote is taken.
Well, that would imply some time still to go before we get right down to the nuts and bolts of a deal. What time frame is Tuhoronuku working towards? And from your perspective, Moana, do you think a settlement's absolutely urgent, or is it more important that it's durable?
It's always more important that it's durable, but I have to say that it in the scheme of things, urgency is a relative term, and it's going to take some time. But in saying that, we are working to some particular time frames that we are hoping we can achieve. It's going to take concerted, work and effort and focus. We've got a fairly large team at the moment, but that team is growing because the workload is, demands it. And so we will just keep focused and keep progressing as we can, and do our best to do this in a timely manner. But in saying that, as you've already alluded to, it's the durability of the outcome that's more important. So make haste slowly, perhaps.
That's a fair term too. What barriers do you see in the road to settlement? And I know that we all want unity, but do you really feel that that's possible?
I do think it's possible, and I think it's possible because the mandate, the way it is structured, allows for differences. We're also, part of our requirement is to discuss the post-settlement environment and what sort of post-settlement governance entity or entities, plural, may be appropriate for Ngāpuhi. And those discussions are also beginning, and the development of that, in essence, I think will help groups that fear that in a post-settlement environment they'll be disempowered to understand that that's not what Tuhoronuku are trying to achieve. So when you start talking about the practicalities and the nuts and bolts of settlement, redress and the overlaps amongst us and things like that, then it really does make the conversation a lot more focused and a lot easier, in my view, to get people around the table to have that sort of a kōrero. So yeah, the unity of purpose as well has, in recent times, been something we have achieved, and the stage 1 hearing on he whakaputanga and tiriti is a very good recent example of the sort of outcome Ngāpuhi can get when we are focused and united in our approach. And that's stage 1 hearing process. You know, there was lots of different points of view, lots of diverse ideas and whakaaro about process and how it should be done and the timing of it and so on and so forth. But you know, all of those we worked through and we got there. So it's not that it can't be done. It's just that it is going to take some concerted focus and effort.
Fair enough. I see that Sonny was driving the bus and he's now been forced to take a back seat. Is the bus now registered, and who has the licence to drive it?
Well, the bus has been registered, and there's a few licensed drivers amongst the people that can take over the driving that waka. So it's not. The issue with Sonny is his take to deal with. We are staying, leaving that for him to really resolve himself. We're staying focused on what our mahi is. And we have a large board. We have 22 representative trustees. We have a fairly large project team who are all, very capable and driven and focused workers, and we are focused on this mahi. So that's where that begins and ends, really.
Moana, thanks very much for your kōrero, and look forward to seeing how things unravel as we head towards a settlement. I do appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Tēnā te, Dave. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.